Alright, Cupcake. I can't wait to see you, babe.
Alright, sweetheart. Bye.
Bye. Yes, damn. If there's one thing I have cared about since I was born, it will be finding this queen of mine. Because I believe that true love still exists. Oh, and I plan on loving her in my own unique way. Yeah. Oh, she's here. Also, God's word says, whoever finds something deserving of care should take good care of whatever it is that they have discovered. Yes. Oh, babe, how are you doing? Oh, you're coming right. You want to get something now? Let me take this from you. I'm happy to inform you that ever since I met her, I have adored that without limit. Yes. In fact, I have gone so far as to explore our potential through our segment. Hey babe, that's for you. Yeah. Distinguished members, distant trees please.
Okay, so I know that for some people, when they learn a particular skill, they say, "Oh, I'm passionate about it." That's why I learned. Yeah, it was not passion that drove me. I was bored, and we were on strike in school. I guess it was strike or long holiday. Yeah, and so I used to sell fabrics, Ankara fabric in school, and when I buy in 6 yards, people will just say they want to buy 2 yards. And the remaining 2 yards or 4 yards, what am I supposed to do with it? So I'll just give it to my tailor to make for me. And I was paying heavily. She was billing me. So one day when I was bored at home, I just called my aunt and I told her, you know what? Enough is enough. I don't want to pay Auntie Jola this amount again. If I'm just sitting at home and she can do the same thing that I can do, so let me just go and learn it. She said, am I sure? I said yes. And one thing about me is when I take decisions, I take that decision that moment. Like nobody compels me to, yeah, do it now. Once I am ready, I am ready. So that was the same day that she took me to a fashion, a tailor. And so I started out and I learned for 4 months there. And then we went back to school, and then I would go again, just shuffling between school and fashion design training, and learned on YouTube. And then I started liking it because I was able to create pieces for people that, oh, I can see them wear, and I actually really like. Michelle is my first client, and she's the first person to pay me. The ones I used to do pro bono job. And then I'll spoil my mom's clothes. But Michelle's clothes is the first clothes that actually got paid for. And I really liked it, that, oh, this is sweet. And I developed a very, very great interest in it. I really liked it eventually. And so I decided to learn more. And ever since, it's been amazing.
Oh, I studied economics education, so it's very normal that people just assume that you're supposed to just be a teacher. And so during NYC, I started thinking that, okay, I want to be more than just a teacher. Even though I know that I'm passionate about teaching, and I know that the kind of lifestyle that I want to live, this teaching profession cannot sponsor it.
Baby girl life.
No matter how they want to pay me the salary, I'm passionate about teaching the classroom, but passion will not pay my bills.
No, great.
Passion will not. My bills were piling, and even though I don't want to leave the classroom, I was broke and hungry. So I got in contact with someone who referred me to a course, 72 IT. So there's no story that I would not talk about that particular course. So that was what changed everything for me. So that began my journey into digital marketing, affiliate marketing, soft skills, high income skills. I started selling digital courses online. Even though I was in the classroom, I was building my list on WhatsApp, I was growing my affiliate brand. I was an affiliate on X5 so I was selling massively. And within 3 months, I did 1 million. And I was shocked. A class teacher, 1 million. How? And so that phase of my life opened another session that, okay, if I can do 1 million in 3 months as a class teacher, so it means that I don't need to leave the classroom now. I can still be teaching and still be doing what I'm doing. And so I continued being a class teacher, even though the school I was teaching was so enabling. There was an enabling environment. The school was quite techy, so it's not those normal school that will see you pressing phone and say, "Why are you pressing your phone?" No, the school was well enlightened in such a way that the teacher has a free day to herself. The timetable is structured in such a way that you do not do more than 2 or 4 periods in a day. So it's not the regular kind of school. So that gave me the platform to expand. And so along the line, my boyfriend then proposed, so I got engaged. So it took me to another phase entirely, and I needed to leave my current location to where I am now. So I started thinking, okay, what will you be doing again? This affiliate you have been doing, what will you start doing again? So I said, okay, I want to take a dive. I don't want to, let me leave the classroom. It's like my whole life is revolved around the classroom. You can't mention my name and not say, Joy, that teacher. I wanted to change that narrative a little bit. So I wanted to explore. So I came in contact with somebody. My husband has been encouraging me to go into sales of gadgets due to the fact that I had massive sales skill. So he feels that I can actually do well selling gadgets online. I built a list on WhatsApp. I have over 12,000 people on my WhatsApp contact list. So I have a buying audience. I sell every day on WhatsApp. So he's told me that you can actually do well selling physical products. I said, I don't think I can do well. He kept persuading me. And January 18th, I will never forget, this January, I took a dive into physical business. I've never sold any physical product before. I've never, until January 18th. So I got in contact with a direct supplier. So it means that I was getting the gadget at a very cheaper price. So there was the third party agent was not that long. So I had a direct access. And so that was how I started selling. I'm a writer, so writing captions, selling online is my thing. That's my competitive advantage actually. Whatever it is, I'm not even doing well as I'm talking. If you see me online, you will find it because a link what I'm saying, because I talk so well online. And I started selling physical products. Because of the way I built my writing skill, it was very easy for people to buy from me because I took my time to explain. I have this sales skill, so I started selling. And this week make it 6 weeks that I started selling online. And every week I check my sales book. I have a sales book. And yesterday I was checking and I saw that I've done over 1 million again. Within the space of 6 weeks. Within the space of 6 weeks, just selling online. You're welcome. So for me, what inspires me every day, back to the question, what inspires me every day is the fact that I can be more. I shouldn't cage myself into a certain, there's the way the mind works in such a way that you start telling yourself, I cannot do this thing. I cannot do this thing. Every day when I wake up, I look at myself and I say, Joy, are you the one selling these things? Are you the one selling massively online? So, although I'm not in the classroom, because where I am now, I've not really seen the kind of school that will be able to accommodate all that I have. So I just spend it. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I did not close my mind to exploring.
I actually love the switch from fashion to football and to more. I think one of the things that I learned from her is the fact that many times people say that when you're doing one thing, just do that thing. Don't do any other thing, blah blah blah, you're not focused and all that. But I've learned from her that you can actually be more. Like you can be much more than what you are, and you don't have to limit yourself to the box of people's ideologies about you. That's really inspiring. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While I was growing up, I'm this girl that I wanted to be a lawyer while I was in secondary school.
Thank you.
I was very smart. I finished secondary school at age 14, and my dad believed me. I was the only girl. He believed in me so much that he was ready to send me anywhere just to be a lawyer. I really want to be a lawyer, not because of him. I really want to. I was smart and I have all it takes. So when I finished secondary school, jammed me many years. So like I lost the interest. Even in my school, where I finished from, they had to like told my dad that I should not allow me stay at home for any reason. I have to write jam and all. But the jam jammed me for like 5 years. I kept on doing it and doing it. So I lost interest at the long run, and the dream just went like that. So when I now finally gained admission at age 20, LASU gave me Portuguese and English and one nonsense course like that. Then so it was quite very expensive, because then that was, I think, Obasanjo or somebody. Then LASU increased school fees to 250k and all. So my dad was now asking me, he doesn't have the money, right? So he was asking me that, is this what I still want to do? I said no. If it's for law, I can still try to do it. Then I remember too that immediately I finished secondary school, my mom, she's not this education woman. She told me that go and be a teacher. I said never, God forbid. How can I be a teacher? Me a teacher. And I cannot be a teacher. She has one elder sister too. That one said I should come to Ibadan, that she will pay for my AC form. She should be a teacher. I said God forbid. And why are they wishing me to be a teacher? So, but after the many issues I have with going to school and all, I did not eventually go for the LASU. I picked up LASU Tech form, and in ND2, I don't know what happened, I just stopped. Then I was studying marketing too, because all the dream of law just went. So it didn't make sense to me. I just stopped. I stopped going to the school. Well, part-time. So my way one day, then I started doing class assistant in a school. I was using my SSC. So doing that, I was really, really into it. I noticed that I love children. I love to teach, but which I didn't know before. So and the class assistant was actually paying very small, so I was still managing it. And while I was doing that, I was just going one day. I just entered the tailor shop, and I saw an AC form on a table. And I'm like, that's after like 7 years of my life, where my mom told me to pick up the form, and I said no. So I just saw it on a tailor shop. I think they were passing, and they gave it to her. And she was like, "What do I want to use it for?" I said, "This is AC form." And how much is the school fee? She said 35,000. I said, Federal College of Education, Akoka. So what does it take? I said it can be part-time. I shall ask. Believe me, it didn't take me one day to decide. And the next minute, I was a student of Federal College of Education, Akoka. And I love teaching. The teaching passion came in. And I don't want to do any other thing than to teach. So that was how I entered into teaching. I love what I do, and I'm really, really passionate about it. But then, while I was in the Federal College, I noticed that if I wear anything, my friend will say, because it's fine, where did you buy it? I say, it's just 200. They say, are you serious? Is it like, where did you buy it from? It's just, you will see it everywhere now. It's okay, I need to buy. I'll just collect it. I'll remember. Another day will come, I will just wear anything. And this thing is fine. How much you buy? It's 200. So you get. So aim to buy. One day I have to with that. I'm not around here. Aim to buy. I can actually start selling this thing. So whenever I go to school, all of them will give me money. So maybe to buy scarf. Just go to Lagos Island. I think I'm 22. I was already going to Island myself. I didn't know anywhere. So I was just going. I'll go and buy. I went to Island, Lagos. Let me tell you, I'll just enter. Really, the bus dropped me. I'll pick what I want to pick at the outside, not going inside. and I'll just go and I'll still put little money in, and I saw that people are buying and it looks cheap to them. So I got interested. I really wanted to do my started now selling underwear. And after that, I'll go buy underwear, come back. How much is it? I'll say, then I was buying underwear very cheap. It was not even this expensive. People come, I want to buy, this is beautiful. Like, they used to make me feel like nobody else can get this for them. Like the way people were just exaggerating. This your part is fine. Now I look like this Pantambra business. It's only me God gave it to. So I started doing it with all joy. Whenever I buy something, when I buy my market, one thing I do is I turn on it, I pray, and believe me, they are gone. I'll go, come back, they are gone. Go, come back, they are gone.
When I finished my secondary school, also I was also my story is in
like this. I guess I was missing this.
I stayed for some years also at home. My mom was like, "Why not buy phone?" I was Mommy, that teaching, like I'm not teaching. Like first time, second time, I think it was the third time. I was like, okay, let me just instead of me staying at home. And before then, I had to just like, okay, let me just go and learn something. But naturally, I love transacting, like business. Let me sell something and bring money in. And the reason is I hate being idle. I hate it when I like it being dependent. Like I should be able to put my hand in my pocket and even without stressing my parents, though they are actually responsible for my well-being, but I don't like if you can do it. But I still need to. I don't like depending, like it's by force, like you have to do it. No, I don't like it. So I started looking for how I can just, like I said, I hate being idle. So I started learning. When I started learning, then I got admission. When I got to College of Education, Christian College of Education, Ilaro, I looked around. I was like, I can't just stay here without selling anything. So then I looked around, and one thing about me, irrespective of what I'm selling, be it, let me say, local beans, I will sell it. I'm not ashamed of anything that I sell. So my mom is a civil servant, and she also learned. She do cut nylon, all those nylon that doesn't have, and she cut it. I could remember then my mom would be forcing us, come and learn this thing. I would say no, but forcefully I actually know how to do it. So I just looked around. I saw those that are selling snacks. I was like, wow. And there is none of the students doing it. They used to go to the town. Then I started. I just called my mom. I'll go home all the way from Ilaro, go to Ibadan, cut nylon in bulk, then go there and sell it all through my years in NCE. Okay. So gradually, when I come home, I will go back to my learning. Then, when I got to school, same thing. I was like, I can't stay. So I look for different people, apart from as if they hot. Those that they know those people. So I started selling it to them also. So got to what actually brought me to the Dodokiri, because when I tell people like I sell the Dodokiri, they'll be like Dodo. Then their expression, I will be like, no, not the way they sell it on the streets. Because the way they actually look down on Dodokiri. Some people will even say, are you sure you're from Ikire? I'm Ikire, one law school. I'm from Ikire. And I sell Dodokiri. So I actually started it my second semester final year. And one thing is, and that thing actually made me believe that God has actually placed a gift in everybody. Now it is for us. There is a gold very close to us. Now it is left for us to mind it, like to just discover it. It is left to us. It's not as if I didn't know what Dodokiri is, or that would be the first time I'm selling Dodokiri, or I've not. Well, how I got into it is another story entirely. But I just started. And another thing I want to say to people, like, okay, we should, the fear of how will this thing go? How will I execute it? The thing is, we should just start. Once you have it, start. You will definitely find your way around it. I had that fear. I was like all the way from Ikire to Ijebu Ode. We didn't know it. Ijebu-Ode, Lagos State. Like when we are talking of probably Ife, Ekiti, Ondo, they might actually be familiar with it. But Ijebu-Ode, Lagos and everything, I just took it with faith. And I'm a risk taker. Like I love taking risks. I was like, if it sells, fine. If it doesn't sell, fine. Like I will just take the risk. I could remember the first time I took it to class. People were like, "Hey, what is this? What is?" I didn't sell a single. I have one of our class rep there, Vivian. She helped me. People were like, they didn't sell it, but I wasn't discouraged. I kept on, like, and in our my course mates actually know we do have 7 o'clock class, so people doesn't eat when they come to class. So then I'll pack everything. I'll pack it, then sell it for them. Once we have 7 to 9 or probably to 11. So then I'll sell it. So that was how I started. I started moving on to those that sells provisions. This is what I do. People will be like, I also let you okay, Shamara, let me try it. This biscuit you are selling, you started one day.
Yeah.
You didn't know if they would. This thing you are selling, do no matter. Plantain chips, mommy, started. So, and I also took a lot of sacrifice also. What I would do, I would just say, okay, let me give it to you. And let's see if they will like it. And to God be the glory, students really, really like it. They really, really love it. To the extent that they will be calling me. It's caused a fight between someone. And like, Kilo Shele, when you know that you know be supplying us. And why did you? I was like, Mommy, please, I'm sorry. I do get, they do disappoint me. Actually, they do let me do it all the way from Ikire. So, like that, I moved on. Then, service. Even while I was serving, I took it along. I camped in Kogi State, so I deployed to Lagos State. So when I got to Lagos, I was like, how do I navigate it? Then what I would do is that whenever I'm going to I'm going somewhere for the first time, I don't go in my mufti. I will wear my khaki. You would think I'm actually going for PPA. No, I will wear my khaki and I will do good afternoon, man. How you doing? Then people will be like, copper. Dodo, alcohol. So the way all those, I'm like, ma, I'm from Ikire. Is this a Dodo or Ikire? Ma, it's from Ikire. I'm from Ikire. In fact, when I meet some people from Ikire, they will be like, where are you in Ikire? They just want to know, and I will describe it to them. This is where our family house is. So when I was serving, also, it's really, really helped me. Then. School, I left school then. I wasn't supplying them in school. But after work, I was like, what next? What will I do? Then, through a friend of mine just called me, there's work here, blah, 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 blah. I started insurance. That was just how insurance just came in. It's not as if I had it in mind of, and I started insurance. And I have it in mind that any job that will not give me, number one, time for God, and time for my own personal business, I can't do it. So the insurance, that's why I can't do a job of 8 to 6. Like, how do I want to know? So I just found that insurance, okay, yes, I'll still be able to do some things like that. So then I started. Then I needed to now go back to school. Then, even while I was in school, I wasn't selling much. But then the money I was seeing then was like gold. Like I was getting money during our FYBs, and I hear all the expenses. I was able to pay it freely without, even when I tell my friends that I don't have money, they don't believe me. So when I went back after service, then that was how I started. So even up to now in my school, fashion line, I still supply them Dodokiri, and from there, people also, for that, those that knows me, anybody I'm meeting, I'll definitely introduce Dodokiri to you. Even we are meeting online, I sell Dodokiri.
Sorry.
So, and that's how I've been moving. So I love business. I love. So for dog, I like more to start with like one source of income. I don't like it. Like I just have to find another thing. Let's do it. In as much it will not affect each other. So when I was about finishing my service here, my brother, it was actually through my brother. So my brother said he was actually raising dogs. So I was like, Alpha, can I do this thing? He said, why not? Then I just find little change. So that was how I started, and I fell in love with dog. It's not as if I love dog really right from like, no, I fell in love with dog, and there's something. So I have like, okay, my expenses, if I can see something that can be catering for the project. Okay, I have a project I want to do. I have a source of income that will be catering for the project. Also something that will be, okay, the daily expenses, what will be catering for it. So that was how I got into different things that I do.
So that is my hair business because I'm this kind of person that I love like being on my phone. I can be on my phone like throughout the whole day. But once something just came to my mind, I was like, I just want to like be pressing my phone all day. I just wanted something that I'll be on my phone and I'll be making money at the same time. That's what I wanted. So I was just like, these people that do this their online business, I'll always curious. I'm like, where are they getting this thing that they are posting online? Where are they getting it from? Who is supplying them? So that curiosity drove me to like get a supplier that will supply me my hairs and stuff like that. That can easily do it. So talking about hair business, there are a lot of people doing it online, right? But at the same time, there are a lot of people that are always scamming people and all that. So that's stuff that I do. Like I wanted to be like a reason. Like I wanted to give people reason to patronize me. Okay. I don't have a shop, but I wanted people to have this kind of let them be like, how would I put this down? Confidence, yes, that I will give them what they want. They'll get what they want at even cheaper prices. And it will not be scammed. So I want to be a reason that somebody believes in hair business online again. So that's why I actually started this business. So I got a supplier. Then I just started like posting. I actually started this year, January to be precise. So I wanted to be that kind of reason that people believe that yes, somebody's online saying I've not met this person before, and yes, she gave me what I ordered at even a cheaper price. That what inspired me, and I wanted to be able to make money too by just being on my phone and allowed to just entry from different places in your Nigeria. So I deliver worldwide. Any state you are, I can get your airs for you. I get what you ordered. So that's what inspired me.
What inspired me? I would say passion, then my love for colors, then disappointment too. Because I'm a fashion designer, and before I started this business of fashion, I have tailors, and when you give them clothes to sew for you, and they will give you what you ordered versus what you got. So that was a major thing for me, and I was like, you can do this. Then I was like, okay, fine. That was how it started. So I went to a fashion school, and the inspiration, I think I got the inspiration of venturing into direct fabrics. I traveled to Abuja. Went there. I went to the immigration office. I was just okay. Let me just tour around Abuja. That was how I found a store where they sell direct fabrics and all that. So I just went there and I was like, let me just buy some for myself and make clothes and all that. So I bought some for myself and I started making clothes. And when I wear them, people would just say, where did you get this thing from? And it's so nice. And I was like, okay, I can get from you. So I went again. I bought a lot, and I was not even thinking I was going to sell. I was just like, okay, let me just keep and just sew for myself, sew different styles. And before I knew it, I sold everything. From people asking, okay, I love this one, give me this one, can you get 2 for me, can you get 3 for me, and all that. So I sold everything. So I was like, okay, you can do this. Maybe I should just add this into my maybe I should just venture into this. So that was how I started. So I started going there, buying in bulk, and started selling.
I think my story is a little bit far different. Like I said earlier, I work with a bank, and I work 8 to 5, and I get to work before 8. That's just and no. That's why I say my story is actually different from every other person. But I'm this kind of person that I would love to leave the job one day. In fact, everybody would like to leave the job, but me, I would like to leave the job sooner. And that's one of the things that is driving me. Like right now, that's one of the things that is driving me. I forgot to add that I also do music. I released a track that is on Spotify, and most times people ask me, how do you jungle through all this? Is that I go to work very early, and I just tell them I just have to. I don't know how. but I have to. Okay, so what actually inspired me for the fabric business was I started selling fabric, I think 2019 or thereabout. I can't really remember the exact date. And then I always post on Instagram. My Instagram account was hacked. So at that point, I think I stopped selling it. So recently we had, was it reset we did? I think it was reset we did. I've been selling. When people ask me, Ashim, Karao, and another thing I like is my work doesn't permit me to hold phones, just like people. Sometimes we have to submit our phones when we are at work. So my work doesn't permit me. But recently, I think another law came in when Access Bank, for those of us that know Old Diamond, when we're in Old Diamond, we always submit our phones as staffs of the bank. And when we became Access, we had access to our phones. So it was at that point. Okay, so it was at that point that I just said I have to make good use of this opportunity. And me, I'm just like, okay, how can I bring in this my fabric business? So I started selling. I sell to my colleagues, I sell to people around me. And what actually inspired me is the job. I can't keep on working. I want to break free. At some point when everybody was saying their story, I was just like, I studied office technology and management. And presently I'm studying biz admin. So I wanted to say something. I was talking about reset. Then I don't know if it was Adejoke that spoke that day. She was talking about audacity. You have to be audacious about everything you do and all that. So I went tired. I said, no, it's fabric business. At some point, the fabric I bought then, when I stopped, I had to give the fabric out. I gave some of them out. I sold something. I was like, no, it's my fabric business. I had to go back to it. So when Joke talked about being audacious, I went tired. I did a business logo for my fabrics, and I was like, hey, sure, I don't, because really online, I don't know. I stopped posting on WhatsApp actually, but anytime I remember, there are some drama that comes with the job. Actually, there are some dramas that come with the job that I can't even start. Like, so anytime I just remember, I was like, fabric business, yeah. Oh, Jerora. So I would say I'm still at the point of when I say startup. I don't know. I've not really gone deep into. But yeah. So what inspires me is leaving my job.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. My name is Adesanya from Oyo State. I went to what school, right? Yes. Okay, I went to the only school in Nigeria, Bukari. Wait. You know what I just said? Did you guys see it?
I saw it.
Did you see what I went to OAU.
Yes, I saw it.
You guys see the real. People should calm down. Okay, so I went to OAU. I studied accounting. I'm married. And I currently work with Stanbic IBTC, so I'm a banker. So that's why I was trying to say I can relate. I leave my house as early as 5:30. No, come to Stanbic.
She wants to leave.
So I leave home as early as 5:30 because I don't like being in traffic. So I would rather leave home by 5:30 and get to work in 20 minutes. So that works better for me. So I leave home at 5:30, get to work like 6, sleep if I can sleep. And I'm currently running my MSc, and I'm also running a business. So juggling, newly married, with academics, with work, with business. So how did I find myself in business? Amen. How did I find myself in business? Okay, so I think that was part. Okay, going into part 2, I was this person that I was raised like I was not, but I was raised inside the house. I never played with sand. I was this person that went to one of the biggest private schools and all of that. But around part 2, I think my daddy had issues with his job, so I had to begin to fend for myself. And I don't like calling uncle and auntie. I don't even know them. Like, we don't relate with extended family, so I don't know them. So I had to just start doing something for myself. So part 2, I think it was part 2 holiday, I started teaching. I like to meet young small children just to talk to them and all. So I started teaching, like extra lesson, and then going into part 4. We don't get accommodation in part 2 and part 3, but we get accommodation part 1 and part 4. So part 4, I had my own space. So I just said, okay, what can I start doing? So I started selling a lot of things. I was selling pepper, I was selling groundnuts, I was selling fufu, I was selling bean flour. Like, I'll buy beans, wash it, dry it in the hostel, grind it, repackage it, and sell around my hostel. So that was where sales started from. And then finishing school, YSC, started working, I think sometimes in 2021. Yes, towards the end of 2021. I used to attend Dunamis before I got married. And our pastor was always talking about the fact that you cannot be a salary earner and be like, yeah, you can be comfortable. Yeah, but you can't get to that place of real wealth without being an entrepreneur. So that was like the push. So I know I used to do them, but now I'm in the bank. I studied accounting, so I love my job anyway. And it's not like I'm not enjoying it, but there's more really. And that fact of providing solutions, meeting needs, that was what my pastor would always talk about it. That, okay, look for a problem, what can you solve, what can you do? So I looked around me. When we're going to towards the end of 2021, entering into 2022, I looked at it that, okay, people going into the new year, they love to, like, this is when people start writing their goals for the year, writing their so I started this diary business and this wall planner, even though I had issues with it. Wall planners. I looked for a printer, produced it. And then I also looked for, okay, look at children. If you look at the media has been polluted, even for children. The film, like, there's a lot of pollution going into our children. So I sat down and I curated a scriptural affirmation pack for kids. So it has 52 cards for 52 weeks. And one pack, your child can walk with a card. Sorry, I forgot to. Your child can walk with a card for a week. So I wrote out scriptures and I curated it in, like, simple words for children. So I started selling that. So 2021, towards the end, into 2022, and most of these kind of things sell at the beginning and at the end of the year. So I sold them. Then I still sell during the year, but it's just like one or two. Then coming into 2022 ending, I said, okay, the year is ending again. It's time to start again. So tell my colleagues, this one will order, okay, I think my line manager ordered for about 20 something people. Tell this person, order for about, okay, let me buy for my friends. I want to give gifts. What do you like? Gifts for people. I had someone, like, one or two people chat me up, okay, can you help me curate a gift pack for my colleague, for my boss? So I just, like, literally, I don't do it full time, I do it part time, or at least just that fact that you can be in your house and you don't have to wait for salary to enter. Yeah. You know that December shege that used to happen to people, it did not happen to me. December and January, that was when my account was, I was always receiving back to back. You know, they will say in Stanbic they pay our salary middle of the year and be middle of the month. But in December they bring it 5 days forward. So they pay your salary like that. Before December 25 and 29, when other normal people are collecting salary, you in Stanbic, you're already finished spending your money. But with a part-time job, at least I didn't experience January shaking at all. December, although I don't experience all of those things. So what inspired me? My dad had issues with his business. That was when I was in school. Then trying to just offer solutions, like discovering a problem. I saw that issue with kids. You'd see most kids watching Cocomelon. It's good. Those things are good. But then, how do we bring in them affirming the scriptures, simplifying the scriptures for them? So that was what inspired Scripture Affirmation Pack.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mildred.
and I studied accounting. Mildred Ajasa. I studied accounting at Ogun State Polytechnic. You know, and what else again? Okay, I'm married. I'm married and also expecting a baby soon. Safe journey. Safe journey, none. Okay. No, I said safe journey, so I was not correcting myself, and I said, "Hey, it's still safe journey." Okay, so what else again? Okay, I said I studied accounting. Well, from Edo State, but got married to a Yoruba person. My sister! My sister! Okay, so, well, for me, I've always loved to do business. I've always loved to transact, to sell something, get money, because I'm not really from, this rich kids kind of family, so I had to do something for myself and all of that. So while I was in school too, I think I did one or two things. I sold pants and bra, like I related. But students now, they frustrated my life, buying on credit, and before you get your money. So I got frustrated, I left that. Then I went into fruits. I started selling orange, pawpaw. So in the morning I'll have to go to the market, get those things, then take it home, go to school, and then come back in the evening. I peel all of them and then ship for people to buy and all of that. So I've always loved business. But at the same time, I really wanted to be in a corporate setting. I really wanted to work in a corporate firm. That was how after school I got a job, but unfortunately it wasn't just meeting what I wanted. They'll tell you when to come, when to go home, and then everything just seems like I was inside a box. So I'm like, no, I need to do something. I need to just free myself. So that was how I just kept moving from one job to the other. And then when I met my husband, he was a business person. He was into printing, does printing, training.
Start again from here.
So he was into printing and all of those things, and then I joined him. So we started business together. We started doing, and to the glory of God, we are doing well.
So I started photography. Not with the interest per se. I had a man, and I mention his name almost everywhere I go to. His name is Andrew, Pastor Andrew. So he was our youth pastor in church. So he was just watching over us, making sure that was a youth pastor of our church. Then I was schooling, so most times when he had jobs, he just calls me up and says, "Samuel, let's go together." So I just help him carry his bag and just do one or two things, like just carry his bag basically. I don't do anything because in my mind I was like, why is this man asking me to follow him? I don't want to do this stuff. I don't want to, but I just enjoyed it. One, because of the food. There's always food at every event, and the going to different places that you have never been before. That's one of the advantage of the work. It gives you exposure. So along the line, I just discovered that I had to do something. I began to get interest from him, from the work. It was always making sure that I was there and particular about me, like, "Samuel, come, let's go and do this stuff. Let's go and do this stuff." And all of that. So it was making sure that I was there. So then I've done series of jobs. I worked as a security, I've sold ice cream, I've done bricklayer and all of that. You can just name it. Do you understand the word? Because I don't really believe. I like the idea of hard work. Yeah, it's one of my core values, like working to do. I cherish people that work. So I just had to. I was doing a security job then, and then I discovered that if I really want to serve God the way I wanted to and have time for other stuff, do you understand? I would not really, I should not, or I might not be able to do it as much as I want to do by working for people. So that was where everything began for. And I had this ideology that money is not something that we should live all our lives chasing. Do you understand? There's more to our personality, our person, and what we should do other than chasing money every day that we wake up. Do you understand? So I understood how I wanted to live my life and how I wanted to do a lot of stuff. So I didn't tell you guys earlier because I felt like this is not our show. I didn't want to steal the show. That's why I was trying to be brief as early as possible. So photography is not basically what I want to do. It's just a means to an end. Do you understand? Basically, I want to be a movie producer, like a director and all of that. So I had this vision. That's this last thing I'm going to say. That God gave me, and He said that the key to, or the gate to everybody's heart or a man's heart is what we see and what we hear. Do you understand? So if you can control what people see and what they hear, you can change their life. You can change the whole generation and all of that. So, and that was the inspiration, and that's the thing that keeps ringing in my heart. So I am nowhere close to where I'm going.